Good evening, everyone here in good old fucked up Australia. Good early morning to those of you in the United States. As I have to do this shit all the time. And good afternoon to everyone in the UK and in Europe. Welcome to Peekay and Patrons Roundtable number 6. My God, cannot believe that we've gone 6 shows already. Hopefully a few more people come on. G'day, Fred. G'day, Albago. There we go. There's a few coming on now. As you can see, I'm wrapped up tonight. It's a bit chilly here in good old Melbourne town. Not much going on here. Hang on, let me have a look at this. My God, so many people just come on. G'day, George. G'day, Dad. Jan Yu, Psyop. Oh, my God. Where have you been hanging out for the last few minutes? You've just come on like whammo. 23 watching. Anyway, the thing about this show, I've got no idea who's going to come on. If you've been watching the last 5 shows, there's a bit of a mixture of the people we're getting on. Different types of people, all good people, all got their thoughts. There's been a couple, especially one guy from America who wants to come on. It's going to be 4 a.m. in the morning. He keeps sleeping through his alarm. He said he'll definitely make it tonight. He actually thought it was last night, and he slept through the alarm. I says, don't worry, mate. You got another 24 hours. So anyway, while I'm waiting for someone to come on, because this show's not about me. It's just about the people who want to come on and want to hear their stories. If there's any quick questions, anyone that's here wants to ask me, fire away. Yeah, about the Black Sabbath dude, Hussein last week. Yeah, he was a different cat, but, you know, he means well. Yeah, well, I don't like the cold, to be honest. When I say cold, anything below 10 degrees centigrade, I don't know how people could live in cold weather. Patricia Steer, good to see you, Patricia. What time is it there, Patricia? Must be, here. It's 6 a.m. here in Houston, Texas. So you actually got a notification. Wow, that's rare. No one gets notifications for my channel for some reason. Don't know why. Anyway, good to see you got a notification. Dean, Stone Hobbit, where was I? I was talking about something before. Oh, the cold weather. Yeah, God, I don't know how people live in the Northern Hemisphere. Or it's minus 10, minus 20. By God, I couldn't live that life. And to be honest, I got thoughts of moving out of this fucked up city called Melbourne, state of Victoria. I do want to move up to Darwin where nothing really happens. No one gives a rat's about what's going on around the world with this COVID shit, terrorism shit. If you didn't know, there's not one single death in the Northern Territory in the last how many months of this COVID bullshit. So they must be doing something right. See if there's anyone there. No, still no one there. Mark in Melbourne, George, good to see you. Matthew, 107. Come to Cairns. Never been to Cairns, or is it Cairns? Cairns. I'd love to go up north. If anyone's got a nice little unit I can purchase up there somewhere near some water. I mean, it's going to be a hard decision to move to leave my children and grandchildren, but you know, I've got to look after myself, and it's not just the cold weather, because it's going to get colder, as I've said. As I've said for many years, we're heading into a mini ice age, and if we're going to go into a mini ice age, I want to be where it's warm. So am I in the UK? No, David Holdsworth. Do I sound like a Brit? Yeah, Patricia. Yeah, another lockdown. That's what it's all about. Apparently, I heard today that there's some bullshit in New South Wales and Queensland are going to. There's hotspots, as they term these things now. They're going to close the other states in Victoria just when all seem to be getting better. It's all bullshit. All bullshit. All cases, no caskets, as I keep saying. I couldn't give a fuck about cases, but that's all they spew. I actually went to the shops today just to check things out. By God, 90% of people wearing masks, and this isn't even mandatory. It's not even mandatory, and people are full on wearing the masks. So you can guarantee when they make it mandatory, 99.999% will be wearing masks, especially, yeah, I mean, they will. Not a problem, because they think it's doing good. And of course, if the government tells you to jump off a cliff, they will. Anyway, it was funny. I walked out after buying whatever, and there was a guy just walking out without a mask and says, "Oh, okay, mate, good to see you not wearing a mask." And I started chatting to him, but he never knew of me, but he was in Facebook with all these other Facebook pages that are really, you know, truthers and that. And it was really good. And I reckon I spoke to him for like 40 minutes, at least. It was great. It's funny, you know, most of the people I bump into are pretty clued on. Obviously, if there's some dum-dum, you know, they wouldn't give you 20 seconds of their time. And, you know, when I walked to my car, there was two guys, youngish guys. One had a mask and one didn't. I said, "Excuse me, guys, what's the story? One wearing a mask and one not?" And they mumbled something. I couldn't even understand them. And I just said, "Take that shit off, mate. You know, your mate there without the mask, he knows what's going on." You know, they just walked away. And there was an older guy I spoke to, and yeah, he said the mask's are bullshit, which was great. But anyway, so all this week it's been about masks. All the videos I've been putting up have just been masks. YouTube removed one of them. They've been pretty lenient in the last couple of weeks regards to removing my stuff, but, you know, that doesn't mean they just can't remove my channel tomorrow morning. Get Patricia on. Maybe another time, Patricia, if you're interested to do a show, as long as it's not about, you know, the shape of the planet we live on, it's fine. If you've got other things to talk about. Yeah, a lot of people are asking for Ash. I got an interesting message, or a few messages from her through Patreon. I'm not really sure if she wants me to sort of mention it. So who's this guy telling me that he's going to take me down? Let's just see if he makes another comment. If he's been a smartass. Yeah, she told me she's got another channel. And some real crazy stuff that she's been going through. So if she does come on, I'll ask her if she wants to talk about it, but it's pretty pretty hairy stuff, trust me. But anyway, it's up to her if she wants to talk about it, if she does come on. Anyway. G'day, Big Scotty. Paul from Newcastle. Yeah, Big Scotty, they might play the grand final in Queensland. How good would that be? Or even the Gold Coast, Metricon Stadium. That'd be fantastic. I couldn't give a stuff about football, to be honest. Couldn't give a stuff about it. The game's gone in the pack anyway. There's hardly any scoring. Come on, someone come on. I need someone to talk. Oh, Patricia says she doesn't deal with Flat Earth anymore. Do you still keep in touch with DITRH, Patricia? Yeah, Fred. Definitely New South Wales will be next. What about Tasmania? 60 days without a case. What are they doing right? I'd move to Tasmania, but it's too bloody cold. You know, it's just below us, and yet no cases there. Like Dan Andrews says, it's a very, very, not only a deadly virus, but a very cunning virus. No, Dan, I haven't seen RV's cooking video. I know RV's got it on a different direction. He's doing a radio show, apparently. Something that was offered to me, but I knocked it back. Anyway. Yeah, very selective, Fred. It only goes for people on cruise ships or people over 90. Doesn't want to go anyone under 50. All right, Patricia, I'll do a search later and I'll sub to you if it's called Patricia Steer. Everyone else, sub to Patricia Steer, lovely lady, does great work. Surely there's someone on. No, still no one. Could be an early show, guys, but anyway. Look, Andrew Jordan, can you just piss off? It doesn't interest me what happened 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. You want to talk about what's happening today, mate? Whoever you are. If you keep this shit up, I'll just block you, mate, all right? I don't like blocking people, but just keep it to what's going on today, all right? All that shit from years ago, got no interest in it. Oh, Patricia, even St. George thinks you're a legend. Smart man, St. George. Yeah, come on, people. Where's Mohammed? Where's Ash? Where's Mickey Mo? He'll come on, surely, during his lunch break. Where's Tracy? The lovely Tracy wanted to come on. Don't know what's happened to her. She had cancer problems. By God, I haven't heard from her for 2 weeks. Let's just hope nothing's happened to poor Tracy. G'day, Helena. Danny Minogue, yeah. Have you read that story today? The thing is, the media is putting it out there, which is pretty, can't work that out. But anyway, supposedly she didn't have to pay $2,800 to go into a hotel quarantine for 2 weeks. She got an exemption to go back to her own luxury home with her son, I think it is, to stay there. Patricia, I gather you're talking about David Rubini. Yeah, he's a different sort of character, but anyway, we had a few disagreements, whatever, but all was good. Still no one here. Come on, it's nearly 1:15. St. George, I lived in the same street as Danny Minogue. No wonder she left and went to England. By God. Has anyone seen that bullshit cop killing that supposed guy not wearing a mask in, where was it? Oh, by God, some place in America. Wasn't Houston, was it? Someone remind me. It's the fakest thing you've ever seen. So that's what they're pushing. Mask against no mask. The guy apparently stabbed the 77-year-old. This guy was 43 because he wasn't wearing a mask. And, of course, they show a mask on the ground. Unlike the shoot, they show a mask. It's absolutely pathetic. Anyway, we got to expect this shit. Still no George Jones. I did a bit of a fast a couple of weeks ago. Now I'm just filling up till the next fast. Anyway, I haven't heard the latest what's happening in Victoria today. No doubt there'll be a lot of cases, maybe one casket. Some 92-year-old will probably die. And I've got to tell you this story, but it's really a bit sort of heartbreaking, to be honest. But my neighbour across the road, a few years older than me, he just lives with his wife. He happened to have, how do I put it? He got pancreatic cancer. This would have to have been, by God, over a year ago. And if you don't know, pancreatic cancer is the worst you could get. And you're virtually, 97% just about gone. And he went through the chemo and he survived it. Hardly came outside. Obviously with the chemo, he looked terrible. I hardly spoke to the guy, But sadly, without even me knowing, he passed away a week and a half ago. And I didn't realise until my brother told me, because he rang up the wife 2 days ago. I still haven't had a chance to see her and to, give her my condolences. But I was waiting for all these cars to be outside, but there was hardly any car in the last 1 or 2 weeks. But, prior to that, there was cars there all the time. So sadly, I got a feeling that she wasn't even able to be there when he died. And worst of all, there was this 10 people only at funerals policy. So a lot of people couldn't come from interstate, whatever. And it must be shattering for her, to be honest. Shattering. To have him pass away and only have 10 people at a funeral. And sadly, I didn't even know about it, but I wouldn't have been able to go anyway, even if I wanted to. So it's, not a happy time here, but I went and knocked on a door yesterday, and it's like Fort Knox, sorry. There's no bell or anything. I knocked on the window. I think she's home, but anyway, hopefully I'll catch up in the next few days. I'll be outside gardening. Maybe she'll come out. Anyway, maybe I'm going to ask her if she'd like to be interviewed. I don't think she will. It's not so much I want to talk about his cancer and shit. It's more the frustration with this lockdown bullshit and how she coped with that. It'll be very interesting to hear what she said. Because like I said, when I spoke to her 2 months ago, 6 weeks, 2 months ago, she believed this COVID shit, and she made sure no one came around. You couldn't visit people during the stage 3 lockdown. So she abided by it. I said, don't worry about that shit. No one's going to no cops are going to come around and, arrest you or fine you. So, sorry, I haven't been checking. Yeah, Patricia, one round of chemo, who died less than a month later of pneumonia after having to be hospitalised due to vomiting. Well, my neighbour, I actually try to give him some DVDs on cancer. I dug up 6 of them. If you remember our great friend Woodrow Wobbles, I offered him to get Woodrow to call him to have a chat. And he said, no, I'm happy with the chemo. This wasn't through his wife. He was happy with the chemo and the way it was going. And lo and behold, 3 months later, poor Georgie Woodrow died himself. So, yeah, like I said, he was told 6 months ago he only had like 2 weeks to live, and he hung on for 6 months. I mean, wouldn't have been much of a life hanging on like that, but sad. It's sad, but you think there's a rush to get a vaccine for cancer? Oh, fuck off. Let's quickly have a vaccine for a non-existent virus. Don't worry about the cancer. St. George, you really want Patricia to come on? Anyone's here? No, still no one. Do you want to come on and do a show sometime, Patricia? We'll only, be a short and sweet one if you want to come on sometime. Yay or nay? No, sorry, Dean. I just can't let anyone come on the show because, as you know, it's about the patrons, and I have to give them, the benefit and a reward for, for what they do, for supporting me. I will have extra people on separate shows if I believe, they're worth having on. As you know, I love having Terrible Tim on and Robbo and other friends like Pyman. Okay, Patricia, I'll sub to you and just let me know when it's cool. Anyway, it's good to see you on here early in the morning. No, Andrew, you cannot pretend that you're Patricia, because I don't think you'd be anything like her. You can wear a Patricia mask if you got one. That's the only thing I was just thinking before. What do you got to say, Natalie? I'm so glad you have Patricia. And what a nice to have you on your show. Yeah, I got that, Patricia. Exactly right. Yeah, what I was thinking, 'cause I got a feeling I'm not 100% in the next day or week, uh, whether they make masks mandatory. They don't really have to. Like I said, 90% of people are wearing them anyway. But you can guarantee that the major stores, well, actually, they're going to go to stage 4. All businesses are going to close except for the major stores, which they're going to look after. Coles, Woolworths, Aldi, IJ, whatever. They're going to be told, don't let anyone come in unless they're wearing a mask. And obviously, everyone's going to wear a mask. And I was thinking, fuck it. I'm only going to wear it when I go into the shop. But what I'll do is, I don't know where to get a mask, but I'll get one somewhere. I'll just get one because I ain't going to bother wearing it. The only time I wear it is in the supermarket, whatever. I'm going to write on it. Give me some suggestions, guys. But what I was thinking is COVID-19 is a hoax. I'll get a big black texter and I'll have that. So in a way, I'm using a mask to tell people what I think. It'll be interesting the looks I get, but that's what I'll do. It's like me walking around with a placard and saying that, and you can't go walking around saying all that shit in a shopping, in a supermarket, whatever. But if I've got on my mask, COVID-19 is a hoax, well, there it is. Job done. So that's the way I'm going to get around it. Has anyone got a better few words to put on there, you reckon? I think that mask equals scam. It just hit me with some comments there. Oh, funny about this, I just want to mention it. Last week's show, because I don't have time to look at comments while I'm doing the show, I usually next day play at double speed, turn it on mute because I don't want to hear myself. And that's when I go through the comments. Lo and behold, last week, for some reason, YouTube censored the chat. So I got no idea what was said last week. And I thought that was going to be the way to, it was going to happen. But I did a show Sunday morning with Terrible Tim, and it went back to normal. So there was no problem. And hopefully tonight's the same thing. Yeah, Patricia, I guarantee you there are people wearing masks in their home. I noticed a couple drove out of the car park today, an older couple, they were behind me actually, and they're both wearing a mask in the car. But then I noticed the driver pull it down just below his mouth. So he pulled it down, but he was still wearing it in his car. He was too scared to just take it all off completely. I mean, how pathetic. I felt like, I did stop at the lights and he was behind me, and I felt like getting out and telling him what I thought, but stuff him, what's the point? Anyway, but what I was going to say about the masks, train of thought. So sorry. What I was going to do, if I went to the supermarket and the idiot there said, sorry, you can't come in without a mask, I'd say, well, I've got a medical exemption. And if imagine it's a he, says, oh, what's the medical exemption? I said, it's nothing to do with you. It's personal details. And I object to you asking that question. Can I have your full name, sir? Because I'm going to note this. And we'll see what he does then. That was my initial plan. That's what I was going to initially do. But then, depending on that, I was going to go straight to my doctor, my wonderful friend that threw me out 3 months ago. But last week I went, and I didn't say a word about it. I didn't want to upset him. But because he knows in the last 4 or 5 years I've had respiratory problems, lung problems. It's not so bad now, thank God, but since I've been taking black seed oil, can't beat it. And yeah, the coughing and the noises through especially at night in bed, and blowing through my nose like you cannot believe it came from nowhere. It was horrendous. I never, used to blow my nose for years and years, and all of a sudden I'd go to bed and I'd go, through hankies, blowing my nose like you cannot. Where does this come from? So he knows I'm not making this up, but I did tell him last week that things are better. I probably should have said that, but I'll just say, I put the mask on and now, doctor, it's come back. Please give me a medical exemption. And he will. I'm sure he has to. So I'll just carry that around with me and I'll just walk in, fuck the mask. So I've got a few options I'm going to play with. And I was going to say another thing. No, don't worry about it. Anyway, claustrophobia, yeah. No, I'm allergic. I can't wear a mask. I'm allergic. I'm allergic to this fucking bullshit. That's what I should say. But then he might throw me out. Sorry, keep up in. Yeah, I'm sorry, I haven't been reading the last few comments, but I did say to someone I'm gonna get a Batman mask or a Zorro mask, or I might even get the whole Batman suit and get dressed as Batman when I go to the supermarket. That'll be interesting. Because when they say you got to wear a mask, there's no specific mask that you got to wear. And the joke about all this mask shit is they encourage you to make your own. You can make it out of freaking toilet paper or soiled underwear, I mean, it's doing nothing. If you're going to make your own, how's that going to work? It's all a freaking joke. If you saw the video I put up yesterday, was it yesterday or today? The doctor and a mask expert in the hospital saying it's all bullshit. You don't need a mask. It's doing nothing unless you get a certain I can't remember what type it was, but it needs to be actually specifically fitted by her, like an expert. You got to get it all sealed and everything. You can't just whack a mask on and put it around your ear and she'll be right, mate. And that's what people are doing. And as you know, like I said to someone, all it is it's like a garbage bloody what's the term? It's bacteria and shit is just being collected like a garbage disposal bloody. People are picking it and moving and digging it and who knows where. Then they rub their eyes and their mouth, their nose. It's bullshit. But anyway, someone has to come on for freaking. It's 9:30. I'll give it another 15 minutes, guys. Cannot believe that people haven't come on. Hang on. Where are we? I haven't got my glasses on tonight. Yeah, Fred, it's part of the ritual. It's like we're silencing you, But the way it is, guys, it's they got us by the balls. They know they've got the numbers that are going to wear the mask without even making it mandatory. So if you're not wearing a mask, you're going to be ridiculed. That's the way it is now. It's like 95% of the idiots, the sheeple, wear the mask, and us 5% who are awake and are trying to help these idiots without any luck because they don't want to listen. So they know we're going to be ridiculed. So what hope we got? Then exactly the same thing's going to happen with the vaccines. And by God, I'm not looking forward to the day when that, gets pushed. They say, they're going to use nanoparticle gel instead of an actual microchip itself. And I don't know about it, but it's just sort of, once it's in there, it's just going to flow through your body and it's going to take over your DNA and all this stuff. And by God, and if you don't have it, it's going to be linked to the cashless society. And if you don't have it, you got no money, virtually. Sorry, there's no more cash. It's all going to be connected with the actual whatever they put inside you. It's scary, honestly. I cannot see a major shift, to be honest. I don't know what you people think. I cannot see a major shift of people changing when this vaccine shit comes out. It's like, it's got to the stage where it's gone. It's too late. People have fallen for this shit, and they won't change their mind. And guarantee whatever percentage, 70, 80% will think the vaccines are a good thing. And even if they were told that they were putting in some sort of a nanoparticle gel or even a microchip, even if they were told that, they'd think it's a good idea. I guarantee you. There's no point. The government, the people behind us should have just said, "Oh, fuck this bullshit COVID-19. Look, we just want to inject you with the microchip without all this pandemic shit." I guarantee you more than 50% would have said, "Give it to me now." But those behind it thought maybe 7.5 billion people aren't really that stupid to accept something like that. So let's just have this pandemic bullshit. They're sitting back laughing like you cannot believe. They are laughing their friggin' heads off. Can you imagine them? Anyway, what do we got here? Yeah, we good to see. Oh, Archie. No, don't look tough, Archie. It just freaking keeps my ears warm, mate. Got big ears. And the heating's not too good in my place. There's no heating at all, actually. So I got this blanket here. It's like an electric blanket. It's got wires in it. Keeps me warm. Anyway. I'm glad you come to your senses, Archie, after all these years criticising me and all this shit. You've actually become a decent human being. Anyway, it's good. It's good that we can, put aside all that shit that happened. I know you probably don't agree with me about Burke Street, but mate, hopefully you do, because I'm telling you now, 100%. I'll go to my grave 100% knowing that never happened. And funny enough, that guy I spoke to today, who's, awoken, he knows a lot of shit. I left it to the last minute about Burke Street, and he looked at me, nearly died when I said, because I said, remember that Burke Street thing? Oh, yeah. How did he put it? The ADF. Is it ADF, Australian Defence Force, whatever? He said, oh, yeah, they knew all about it, but they were told not to intercept him. And I said, mate, it's all a script. It was all bullshit. He never went down Burke Street, and he looked at me with amazement. Then when I told him how the hero of Burke Street happened to be the guy that was on the scene at this bullshit where 4 cops were hit by a truck on the Eastern Freeway. He nearly died. I said, mate, it's not a coincidence, mate. Yeah, so it doesn't look like anyone's coming on. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes, guys. Then I'm going to snuggle up into my warm bed, which is probably the best thing I've got in this house. So what do we got here? Have I got a PO box address? Is that addressed to me so we can write to you or send stuff? Me have a PO box? No, sorry, I don't have a PO box. I don't even go out to my letterbox. I only go out there once a week because I know it's only got shit in there. You know, I look at it once a week, and which I did yesterday, and yeah, sure enough, there was an electricity bill, and yeah, my car insurance bill, which was that's not like a $700 there. So yeah, that's why I don't go to my letterbox. What do we got here? I don't think anyone's going to come on this time. So our friend from America slept through his alarm again. He guaranteed me he wouldn't do it 2 nights in a row or 2 mornings in a row, but he has. Anyway, any quick questions from anyone out there? It wasn't Hussein. No. There was some other guy. Robert, his name was. I think he said he was in San Francisco. Did you get you younger? What's that supposed to mean? Did you get you younger? Speak English, mate. Yeah, just quickly about these apartment towers in Australia, in Melbourne. Get How I See the World on, mate. Haven't spoken to How I See the World for over a year. He gave me the flick after we did a podcast, me, him, and Russian Vids. So you might want to ask him what his problem is. But just quickly on these towers, I'm not fully in on it. I'm not checking up because I don't watch the news. I only do stuff that people send me or I managed to come across. Out of the 9 towers, 8 have been put on like everyone else, stage 3, where there's 4 reasons you can go out: exercise, shopping, go to work if you have to, or shit, what's the other one? Exercise, shopping, go to work. Bloody hell, what's the other one? Someone fill me in. But anyway, the only one that was left virtually in total lockdown just happened to be 33 Alfred Street. Is it Alfred? Can you believe it? 33 Alfred Street. Funny about that. And there's a guy on Facebook, Peter Little. You want to check him out, Peter Little. He goes there every day, just talking. He's really big on vaccines. And he spoke to some woman today, and she was from one of the towers, and she was going to commit suicide the other day. People are all don't know, what's going on. But the thing about this all, there was a big fuss how they were all locked away and they wanted to go out and do exercises and they couldn't get out. But now when they're allowed to go and exercise, like Peter Little was there today for 30-odd minutes, there was no one at all walking outside doing exercises. It's like they were all happy to be stuck inside. So I don't want to sound like, being a pig or an arsehole and say, it's not as bad as what they're all saying it was. Because most of these people, like the woman said to him today, she just stays inside day and night anyway. I made a comment on his thing a couple of days ago. They're getting 2 weeks free rent. A lot of people love that. 5 days in lockdown. So what? It's not as if you've got no food in 5 days. I mean, most of these people are Muslims anyway. They fast anyway. Anyway, I don't want to sound like a prick, but I don't think it's as bad as anyone else in Melbourne, to be honest. Just the thought of having the police around there is probably the worst thing. There was a video of some guy went down to the foyer. There's about 12 cops there telling him he wasn't allowed out. And he said it was okay for the woman to go walk a dog every day, but I can't go out. Anyway, I would have thought these people would be busting the exercise after being in lockdown for 5-6 days. Anyway, I heard that he was saying that we're going to go into stage 4, where everything's going to be closed except for Coles, Woolworths, and the big stores. You're right, Arch. 33 Alfred Street started 3:30 p.m. and ended days later at 3:30 p.m. 3:30 p.m. both of them. Yep, it's amazing. Yeah, we're all in this together. We're all in this together. What they're saying is all you sheep will just follow each other and do as we tell you. And if we tell you to jump off a cliff, guaranteed people would. It's as bad as, I don't know if you remember, Jonestown. How many years ago was Jonestown? Somewhere in South Africa. I don't know where, but remember the Jonestown story where some clown, what's his name? What was his name? Wasn't Jones, was it? He got everyone to drink some concoction of poison. I don't know what the numbers were, like 50, 100. They all drank at the same time. They all dropped dead. This is no different. Daniel Andrews, we want you all to go out to Bunnings, get a bottle of poison, whatever, come home, and at 3:33 tomorrow, take a drink. By God. You can imagine how many people would. Honestly. Anyway, hopefully not. Bunny Sausage Sizzle reopened in Brisbane. Fantastic. Oh, yeah, they got the sausage sizzle where outside of Bunnings, fatty old sausages, and they're cooking for $1 or $2. Don't know where the money was going to, but who the fuck wants to buy a stinking sausage when you go to Bunnings? I go to Bunnings to buy whatever, weed killer for the grass, lawn feeder, or lawn seed, or seeds for the veggie. I don't go there to buy a fucking sausage, If it was at a footy match, a local footy match, which has all been, non-existent this year, I might, of course I'd chip in a few bucks for a snag and a beer. Oh, but fucking Bunnings, you got to be fucking joking, ain't you? Yeah, we got that story about Danny Minogue. As the article said, superstar. Fucking superstar. Yeah. Apparently in England she's a superstar. Don't know what she's done. Anyway. All right, guys. Look, I'm going to end it there. I've rambled on for 50 minutes. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Pretty disappointing that no one's come on, but I just finished. Sorry, Patricia. If they told people that the virus stays at 3 feet above the ground, people would willingly crawl everywhere. Yep, no, that's for certain. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming on. Geez, we've got 89 people watching. Sadly. Look, I'll mention it now. Look, I know that the guys in America, this is a bad time for them. If you're in America, send me a comment or whatever. Let me know if you want to come on. But of course, you got to be a patron. And I'll change the time slot for a week or two, whatever. And a morning show like I did on Sunday with Terrible Tim. Because I'm sure most of the people that support me are in America. So let me know. So on that note, I'll check you out, Patricia. I'll sub to you as soon as I get off. And let me know if you want to do a show sometime. All right, sorry, guys. If anything interesting comes up soon, most likely get Terrible Tim, everyone's favourite, come on again. We'll do a show or someone really interesting comes along out of the blue. Well, anyway, just keep in touch, spread the word. No vaccines, no masks, no bullshit. And anyway, we'll see how we go. We'll see how the mask shit goes till next week. And I might even wear my no COVID mask on the show. How good would that be? That's one thing I thought, I pity the poor people who are, deaf, who the only way they can communicate is lip reading. It's pretty hard to lip read through a mask. I got to tell you, it's pretty hard to lip read full stop. But can you imagine it if someone's wearing a mask? I feel sorry for you, deaf people. On that note, I will say good night and see you all next week.